Let's talk about consistency. This morning, Waste Management, the largest waste disposal company in North America, reported a strong quarter. There's a lot to like here. They gave you a 7-cent earnings beat off a $1.06 basis with higher than expected sales up more than 5% year over year. Waste Management is a high-quality company that does better in expanding the economy. More commerce equals more trash. So even though some thought the guidance was a little light, I think this company deserves the benefit of the doubt. And so did the market. As the stock hit an all-time high, it was cracked 100. So let's check in with Jim Fish, the president and CEO of Waste Management, to learn more about the quarter and his company's prospects. Mr. Fish, welcome back to Mad Money. Good to see you, Jim. Have a seat.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Now, there's something that I've followed your company in various iterations since the 80s. I don't think I've ever seen it this consistent. And you do talk about how it's a proxy for the U.S. economy, but it's a proxy times two. You always seem to do better than the U.S. economy.
Well, I tell you, we did do better, kind of 2x the economy. Yeah. When you look at the long pole intent's always EBITDA. Right. That's the biggest number on the page.
Right.
And that is the one that tells us whether the business is doing well or not. And it was 2x the economy this year. And next year it could be, depending on what, well, next year being 2019, depending on what the economy does, it could be 2.5 times the economy.
Now, where are these areas? I know you bought in the Permian. Somebody said on the call, well, I guess the Permian with oil down, it can't be that good. But the fact is, you're in some areas that are red hot.
Yeah, and the Permian really, I mean, when you think about it, it's landfill assets. Okay. So it's not way outside of our core. Right. It's not an area geographically that we've been, but, but it is the core of our business, and we bought it well below our trading multiple. So we're excited about that. But, I mean, we're just performing well in terms of efficiencies, in terms of controlling cost. I mean, I've always said we've got to control SG&A, and we're doing a good job on that. No, and then, you know, price and volume.
Well, the thing that there are very few companies that pay out as much as you do. I mean, you're 90% of the free cash flow. Yeah. Is that because you've just, I mean, maybe because the fleet is powered by 60% of your own natural gas? Is because you have your costs under control? That's a phenomenal amount to return to shareholders.
Yeah, I mean, it's obviously a combination of the dividend plus share repurchase.
Right.
So, you know, we could always adjust that if we needed to on share repurchase, but we don't feel any need to. I mean, it's, you know, the business continues to churn out good profits and feel like let's return it to shareholders.
You're doing some exciting things. Talk about this Caterpillar remote operated equipment.
Yeah, I mean, that's a cool, you know, pilot we're doing right now. It's outside of Denver, one of our landfills outside of Denver, and we're looking at you know, what happens when millennials start kind of becoming the biggest part of the workforce. Right. Everybody's talking about it, right?
Right.
And they all play Fortnite, and so...
And when they go to Firefest.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So as you think about remote operations of heavy equipment, and which is what we're doing with Caterpillar, you've got somebody sitting in a room that's remotely operating it, sitting in front of a bank of TV screens, and it is similar to playing a game, really. So it kind of lends itself to the next generation.
It's joystick.
It is a joystick, exactly.
Wow.
I did it. I didn't do very well at it.
Well, but that's pretty cool. I mean, I know that you talk about the cost of driver. You said your third party, other companies had a hard time controlling costs, but maybe because of automation, you guys have been able to do better. You don't seem to have a cost problem.
Well, they're passing some of it through to us. So no mistake here. I mean, transportation costs for us at our transfer stations are going up at higher than inflation. It's our job to pass it through in the form of price increase at the landfills, and we talked a bit about that this morning, and we've got to make sure that we pass through that cost as a price increase to our landfill customers.
All right, speaking of millennials, because I'm constantly trying to figure out what they're doing, why do they hate landfills so much?
Well, you know, I don't know that they hate them. I mean, you know, sometimes landfills get a bit of a bad rap, but look, the landfills create a lot of energy. I mean, we're capturing that energy. It's part of why we're able to build these renewable plants, which have great returns to them. So it is interesting when you think about these landfills and the communities that have them. Interestingly, those communities tend to actually like them. They provide a lot of jobs. Sometimes we pay a fee to those communities, so they're good for those communities.
Are we? Who's buying our recycling, our newsprint now?
Mostly the United States.
Wow.
Used to be mostly China.
Isn't that something? It's the West Rocks. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I mean, literally 18 months ago, 30% of all of our recycled stuff was going to China.
Right.
And now most of it's staying in the United States. Some of it's going to India. A little bit going to China. Some of it going to other Southeast Asian countries.
And how about our glass and our plastic? Are we getting any better in this country? I always talk to you. Yeah. It just seems like until we come up with some regime that makes it so it's punitive if you don't put it in the right place. Right. We're still not good at it.
Well, glass is, you know, there's no shortage of the raw materials to make glass. Okay. And that's the problem with glass. So glass, we end up losing money on you know, every pound of glass that comes in. There's really only one person that will buy the glass from us. Plastic's different. There's kind of good and bad plastic. Right. There's the plastic bags that go through your grocery store. Those are not good for our equipment. But then there's the water bottles or the you know, the soda bottles. Those are good, and So what we're looking for is what's a solution at the back end of our plants that can turn low-value plastics into something productive.
Now, why do you have to do that? Why don't we as a country? Why does a private company have to do that?
I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people are trying, but it's a natural for us because at the back end of our plants, 25% of what comes out of the comes in the front door goes out the back door as trash, basically, to a landfill.
Right.
So our concept is, how do we make something better out of it? And it's better for the environment, better for our economics.
Well, I'm glad you think about it because I know that we're in a new generation here where I can speak to a department store and they'll say, listen, our biggest worry is that our clothes are going to end up in landfills. I mean, this has become a very hot button topic. What we make that ends in a landfill, maybe it should be sustainable. And you guys have to think about it all the time, I guess.
Well, we do. There's a lot of material that comes into these landfills that could go to better use. And that's what we're trying to do. We talked about it at our sustainability forum in Phoenix, around the golf tournament a couple of weeks ago. What's the best use for the material? If the best place for it is a landfill, look, the landfills, we do a nice job of those landfills.
You sure do.
And if the best place is the landfill, then fine.
I don't think people realize, because I've been to one of yours, I've been to the other guys. I know it sounds weird that some could have nicer landfills, but I know from my friends who are in the business, yours are. I mean, if you have to go to a waste management, it's the best landfill.
No, they're nice places. We do a really nice job managing them. Our team does a great job with them. But if there's material that's coming into the landfill that would have a better use being recycled, then let's figure it out.
All right, that's great. I'm glad you're thinking about that because meantime, you just keep making money for shareholders. Terrific work. I want to thank Jim Fisk, President and CEO of Waste Management. $100 today. It's just been straight up. Mad Money's back after the break. Booyah! Jim Cramer here from Mad Money. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube. Click here to subscribe and get the jump on my exclusives with CEOs, plus market news, investing advice, and a whole lot more.